cool.
So that's 1, and that's 2. I think, yeah, this is on purpose. We are live for real now. I had us muted because we're doing net play with an NES game while we're playing.
I'm eating a popsicle.
And
Hello,
that's
everyone.
what matters. What did
What
I
kind of
said
popsicle?
too? Oh yeah, we got all kinds of things we need to shout out probably before we really get into our subject this week. One, anyone who's donated to the Trevor Project raffle, most of the prizes have been chosen, so please check the spreadsheet or reach out to the Discord moderator Duckbits for I guess he's Nikolai right now, for information for who you're sending things out to. And we also have real sponsorship, that what I'm seeing.
Yeah. Channel 3 Records giving us a 4% discount because we are the VGM for all podcasts. You just
Number 1 podcast.
I believe it's
VGM
only
Video
active.
Podcast.
It's only active for the hour, I
do
believe. So
sorry, Ernie. Wherever you
Should have
might be.
bargained for 44.
Yeah.
Oh,
24 floor.
maybe next episode or the
Yeah.
next Channel 3 episode, we can get the big discount.
Pog 44 next time.
Yeah, 44 is in chat for that big discount. There's also a giveaway ending, I think, in a half hour for a. Was it
the last Bahamut Lagoon and Treasure of the Rudras
or was it a Live Alive?
kind of damaged versions?
Where is that little channel? Yeah, it's a Rudra and Live Alive.
I
feel
see.
like
Reject damaged copies.
those have just been never ending. It's been super
Yeah.
awesome to have that going on so many consecutive weeks. I'm sure there's a lot of happy campers in the Discord
Yeah.
from that.
I'd like to hear from anyone who has received those copies and like how damaged they are. It's just like, I mean, they're free copies, but
Yeah, can't
you know,
be free.
it could be a small pop here or there. Like, I want to just hear how largely satisfied people are with these copies.
I see super amazing. Wait,
Okay,
we'll give
the reviews are in.
Joey's gonna give everyone 5% for the 5th episode of this podcast. That's awesome. We will go back in time.
Anytime time travelers are just in shambles right now. Punch in the air.
Real Magus says that Maui Mallard only has like some minor pops on one track, which is probably as good as you want to get it
For a free record?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything intact. It's jacket, record, and that Maui Mallard just looks so good. So that's pretty nice, I gotta say.
And I think I'm probably forgetting one of the things we were supposed to talk about outside of NES games. But yeah, that's the couple things going on right here, right now. Frank made us a list of almost 50 NES games, I think, that have a vinyl release. And
That was like off the top of my head too.
Right.
So I probably missed some, I didn't even like cross check anything.
Even some of them, I'm like, how the hell did you remember this? I never see this, but
Just raw dogging information.
yeah.
Like the only one I noticed off the top of my head that you missed was, I thought you missed Ghostbusters, but that was a Genesis. You informed me, but yeah, Esper Dream was the only one I actually noticed that was correct that you missed.
Who put out that one?
Ship to Shore.
Yeah.
They put it out with 1 and 2, and I think 2 was Super Famicom.
I was curious about Biomiracle? Because I wasn't aware that had been done.
Biomiracle is still available on the Yeti.
How about that?
And I don't know much about the actual record itself because I was planning on buying it from the Yeti, which is why I know that.
I have a question unrelated to anything right now.
Please.
Always.
What is the when is the 1 year anniversary of this show?
I think it's August.
Roughly episode 52.
No,
it can't be August. It has to be earlier than that.
We've passed too many to be 52 to be a year.
Probably like
we've only missed
yes.
2. I think we've only missed 2 weeks.
But then we started doing game nights.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Hold on. Let's see. I'm doing on air.
I feel like it's got to be like around now. Right?
It's got to be soonish.
I feel like it was 6 months, not even that long ago, when Alex
The
made
first
that
episode
post.
backlog was posted 8/31/21.
I'm seeing August 17th is when our first YouTube video was put up.
And August 17th is the first post in the podcast info channel.
We could have found out so easily.
So I was off. Okay. Well, we'll keep that in mind.
It's still
We'll
2
be
months
live
off.
tonight.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, so the 17th
So soon.
of August.
TM.
Fucking crazy.
We hope that all of our listeners will do something really nice for us on the 1 year anniversary.
Yeah. You're sure we won't do something ridiculous and unprepared and do it all within a day?
No, they do something nice for us for our birthday.
No.
God, I've been talking to you guys for a whole fucking year.
Yeah, I know, right?
When was the release date of Pokemon Unite?
That's the date.
More than my own mother and father, most likely. I talk to you guys.
For real.
Yeah.
Frank, when's your anniversary of the podcast?
Episode 2.
I think 1 week after that, I guess.
Second episode. Yeah, Unite came out end of July 21st, so August does make sense.
There. I'm glad chat noticed the Nesticle cursor. Frank really wanted that up on our screen this week.
If our producers could have got it to hover over whoever is talking in any given moment.
Please.
We gotta pay them more.
If someone wants that responsibility, they're allowed to have it, but I'm not doing that. But we are here to talk about NES Famicom games, aren't we? Is that what we want to do?
Yeah. I believe Aramis, you mentioned Biomiracle just a moment ago. Do you know about that game pretty well?
I do not. That's why reading it, I was like, I don't know what that is. I didn't know it was pressed, so I had immediate questions.
It is a very nice 7-inch record. Like the soundtrack is very good, but that's all I know about the game. And that there's a big baby on it.
Is a baby a biomiracle? Is that what a baby is? Is that what this means?
Some would
Biological
argue.
miracle. Okay.
7 inches is fucking annoying.
Caleb did the big math for us. August 17th is 9 weeks away, which would be podcast 47. Oh, we're playing. Okay.
Sorry, I forgot that you picked your team and I did not yet. Okay, so
trying to get a cheap shot.
Damn.
So Atrix is player 2 and I'm player 1. So
I'm on the right side.
Yeah.
Biomiracle was part of that very short-lived series that Ship to Shore was putting out. The Konami Kukea Club Museum series, which only had 3 of them.
But
yeah, Billy Bayou and what, Kid Dracula?
Bayou Billy was one of them, right? Because it has a similar cover where it's like a portrait of the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Bayou Billy and and Biomiracle are both 7 inches, and Kid Dracula's a 10-inch, and that annoyed me so much.
That's the
Mhm.
stupidest fucking thing I ever fucking.
Because they all
No one ever wants to
right out the gate, they didn't all match.
They gotta be
If anybody's
uniform.
like, "Hey, do a 10-inch," that's a good idea. They're fucking lying to you.
It's too big. It's too small. Uh-oh. Stop hitting me in the back of my head.
Well, Kid Dracula and that whole series was probably, close to the start of the official releases for the NES games. Is that right? Like, is that?
I don't know. I mean, there's the early Moonshake stuff.
Yeah. And Mondo didn't do. I feel like Mondo didn't do Castlevania before the 7 inches, or at least Kid Dracula.
I think they did.
They feel
Really?
like
Castlevanias are the worst shit ever. The sizes are trash.
Mm-hmm.
For Mondo?
The 10 inches, or
yeah.
I hate 10 inches.
Do you hate 7 inches or 10 inches more? I think
feel like
Hard question.
I had a pretty good timeline in my head for like when everything came out, and I'm just like drawing a blank now. I know
Mhm.
Battletoads was obviously pretty early.
yeah. Holy.
Oh my god, strong.
Sunset Riders was super fucking early, right?
Yeah.
That's
Axiom
arcade
Verge?
soundtrack.
Yeah.
Oh, are we just only talking NES soundtrack?
I
Yes.
thought so. Yeah.
That is our theme of the week. And just
So what
NES
was your-
games in general.
It was so
Do you all-
since the NES Greatest Hits was one of the sort of obviously not very earliest Moonshake releases. Was there other NES stuff that had come out at that point, or was that still kind of the first?
Well,
NES?
Zelda Moonshake is
Sure.
NES.
Yeah.
Dr.
And Castlevania,
So was Mega
Uh,
Man 2.
Of course.
Mega Man 2. Yeah.
I was forget about Mega Man 2, honestly.
This is
I
the
think
new
that-
Mario Strikers
So there's a bunch on Moonshake for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what was
Jesus.
everyone's first NES vinyl?
Battletoads.
Mega Man 2.
Mhm.
Legend of Zelda Moonshake for me.
game. Maybe Konami YY World?
I think NES Greatest Hits was mine, the volume 1. Well, yeah, that.
I never really gave those a listen until recently.
They're not that good. They're
I mean, like
cracked,
it lets certain NES games that you wouldn't want a full release of get their little highlight on a record.
There's definitely some cool things on there, like some more obscure things. Like I forget if it's 1 or 2, but maybe it's 2. One of them has like a couple of gimmick songs on it, which I really appreciate. Because we still don't have gimmick on vinyl. Like,
Oh yeah.
I'm 8-Bit put a CD out for Mr. Gimmick, but they didn't do a vinyl for whatever reason. I have no idea why still.
Actually, I thought it was only 2, but it looks like 1 and 2 have a.
Didn't Space Lab
shit.
put out some NES Mega Mans and it looked like a cartridge?
Yeah, they
sounds right.
they put out the one that was originally a picture disc for Hot Topic, and then they did a non-picture disc version.
Yeah.
They
And
did
then
like 4 variants or something like that.
The non-picture disc version came with like a fake dust jacket type
Yeah.
cover, whereas the picture disc one was just in one of those, regular translucent bag,
Things.
whatever.
Yeah.
The
I
bag.
think I have the Cutman variant somewhere.
Yeah, I think I had the
Is
Metal
that-
Man variant.
Game
I
over.
got handed to
You
me.
did, but that's what we were figuring the game out.
Uh-huh.
There's a lie right in the title because it's called Mega Man 1 through 10, and there's no tracks from Mega Man 3 on it.
Yeah.
They lied to us. They played us
Mega
like a
Man.
damn
Bastards.
Mega Man 1 through 2 and Mega Man 4 through 10 does not have the same ring to it, though.
No.
Well,
right.
they should have put a track from 3 on there.
An asterisk.
Yeah.
Except 3. But
Little-
on all the
little
games,
white-
not 3.
little white lie.
Like, what?
Why did they skip 3?
Shit. Henry, my boy. You're killing Henry. Give me the ball, please.
That was.
That's right.
I mean, I know Space Lab and Lace don't work in tandem with each other, but it was so upsetting to me that the 1 through 10 has like 3 or 4 unique tracks that aren't on the Mega Man the Giant box set.
That's so disappointing.
I know.
It is really annoying, yeah.
That's supposed to be collective. It's a whole ass box. Gamers, am I right?
Yeah, I mean, seriously, if you're gonna do a huge ass box set, why exclude anything? That's the
Mhm.
whole point of the huge ass box set.
You just reminded me of one that I missed by saying Space Lab, because they put out Russian Attack, right?
Oh yeah.
I sure did not get a picture of that. That does not actually exist. Oh shit, Henry's dead. I looked away for a second and Henry died. No,
And-
James, you ran into that. Scott, no, my boys.
Bloody.
James and Scott were not made for this. Their English bones are not strong enough.
I just saw it on the slide, so it made me think. After the Moonshake era, was TMNT 1 and 2 the first like NES boot after all the Moonshake stuff came out? After all the other labels started popping up?
Probably? I think so.
Yeah.
The first NES boot? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. After obviously the Moonshake
There was like
stuff.
1 or 2 right before it.
Mhm.
I think Doom 2 was the first boot to hit the group, like,
Yeah, ever.
and then
Uh,
F-Zero came like a couple days later or a couple weeks later or something.
Well, the Renaissance.
Yeah, and then TMNT.
Everyone went nuts for that release. And,
Yeah, that was
and still do.
those were all
It's a
awesome
fun, it's a
public
fun
drops.
soundtrack.
It was crazy back then.
Oh no, Henry.
And it's very much like that record itself kind of, I feel like kind of put a new standard on things, because it had the spot glass, it had that little insert with it, it just made everything feel a lot more complete than just
Which one? The
TMNT 1 and 2.
TMNT had its spot glass on it? Oh, it
I
does.
thought it did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, you're right.
Yeah, but the jacket spot gloss, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Real quick, let's we could bring someone from our waiting room in.
It does look good.
The
What
menu.
color is
Yeah.
this? There was only one variant, right?
For
Yeah.
TMNT.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
the
it's
green.
like turtle shell green. This is back then when they were still numbered.
I wish there was
Mhm.
more of those, because it feels like finding that now is almost impossible.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's
it's
one of
definitely a hard
those.
one.
That one's 250, or is it
No.
750?
Way more than that. I think it's like 750 or something.
Okay, I knew it was
Yeah.
one of those
I
numbers.
You think 750 right off the bat first release? Oh, it's out of 475.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was a run of 500.
Are we on a team? What is going on?
I don't know. I just picked Beanball mode. I haven't played
Zelda
Beanball.
was out of 750.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So it looks like the mode we're playing now is we
Just beat the shit out
We're-
of each other, or what?
yeah, last man standing. So don't necessarily constantly attack me, but
Yo,
we have
wait, they're
computers to
jumping.
fight against.
Do you guys have a whole cube for that label?
Pretty much, yeah.
I think we've talked about it, but I'm not a sort by label person. But
Alphabetical.
I think once I move, I will very likely redo that to be sorted by label, because I like the idea of it.
I just can't believe how many they put out. Wild.
Are they? They're not quite in the 20s yet, are they?
The last one was 17.
Close soon.
Oh no, my DuckTales isn't in here, so that's 18.
Damn. Boots getting crazy with it.
I don't know where that is.
I thought
Maybe it's the
DuckTales
mail.
was Duckburg Records.
Well, it is, allegedly. So we don't know what we're talking about on this podcast.
Please don't dox Duckburg Records on the show.
Yeah.
Wipe this episode now.
Scrooge is gonna freeze our assets.
We only speak in generalities here.
Always and forever.
So I will say, does everyone here have Lagrange Point? Because that was like one of the records that came out that it just took me by surprise.
I don't think I own it.
I didn't think. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh, it's just like I didn't expect someone to want to go through the effort of putting a soundtrack like that out, much less an official soundtrack, you know. But it's such a unique soundtrack. Like it did not. I think it had to have its own special cart made because the polyrhythms and music were so complex on that.
It's a special sound chip that Konami developed. I think it's the same thing as Castlevania 3.
Oh.
Yeah,
like the Famicom version.
Yeah, I think so. I could be wrong about that. I think they only used it on like 1 or 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
But Lagrange Point was one of them. Yeah, I feel like that is I do own it, and it's a great release, and it's a great soundtrack. But like, I feel like so many people didn't buy it because the jacket art is so freaking boring.
Yeah.
Like,
I saw that on the list and was like, what is this? And I looked it up and I'm just, what is this?
It looks like the other game that used that chip was Tiny Toon Adventures 2 Trouble in Wacky Land.
Shouts out Tiny Toon.
So then Castlevania 3 is some other trickery going on. It's like it has an extra sound channel or something for some reason. I don't know. I wish I should have looked this stuff up.
We didn't do research on the podcast.
But they both sound really good for NES, and it's because of the sound chips.
It is something, I don't know, I really appreciate that about the sound chip era is
the limitation and making it work.
The limitation, but also that, like, you know, unique sound chips would be engineered for like only 1 or 2 different games. And obviously it's not really doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's working within limitations, which is not really something that needs to be done that much these days. Like, if anything, people make self-imposed limitations.
And like companies able to engineer their way around limitations too is just interesting me a lot. I think on that note, Gimmick, since you mentioned that, Frank, that was another one that had a unique sound chip that I think was only used like on that game, if I remember correctly.
And it sounds really complex for NES. I know that much. But then you have stuff like Silver Surfer, where it's like I don't think it's using anything special, and that's like sounds crazy.
No, it's just using everything very smartly. Like it's
which like all the Tim Fallon soundtracks are like that.
Real quick, on a bunch of stuff, Steve's kicking our ass in beanbag mode. And the giveaway.
Yeah, you're already dead.
I am real dead. The giveaways for those records have been announced. 508B Callahan won the Rudra no Hiho. A.A. Ron. Ben Spiegel won Live Alive.
Nice. That's also you mentioned, Frank, that Silver Surfer just has a very wild soundtrack, and I don't remember. Is that a pretty late in the life of NES game?
I don't think it's that late. Like, I don't think it's in. Oh, it's 1990, so
Okay,
I mean,
yeah.
it's getting
Ish,
toward
a
the
little
end.
bit.
I do love like it goes with NES games. It goes with Game Boy games. How like over the lifespan of a console, people unlock more and more ways to accomplish something with the sound design, and like I love the original Mario soundtrack a lot, but like they learned so much from Mario 1 to Mario 3, and it's just like it's remarkable in some ways that it's the same console.
Do we?
I always thought it was crazy how Mario 3 has those like
The
those,
hip hop
like-
drum beats.
and it sounds like actual like digitized sampling, like
Uh-huh.
the bongos and stuff, or is it bongos? I don't know.
We have our first. Did someone use the code for Channel 3 to buy fogs during the podcast? Did that just happen? I know
That's
going
what it's
off
all
script.
about.
Hell yeah.
we-
Oh, I just died.
The
I went to look at
podcast.
I looked at the Twitch chat and then I died. So
Oops. You got
Dude.
by Sam and Mike.
Duped once again.
The
Sam and
podcast
Mike.
does get a percentage of that 4%, so
Mhm.
every
We
every
actually we
percent
have to
helps.
we have to pay part of that 4%. Actually, we have to
Right.
cover
Oh,
it.
Right. I did not read the terms of service for this contract.
Yeah, we were meant to bring someone in earlier, I think. So
Yeah.
I'll do it now. We got Betty, evil Betty.
The evil Betty.
Are you with us? Are you unmutable?
Are you
Immutable?
Hello, I have unmuted.
Hi.
That's so good.
What's up?
Yeah.
Not much.
I'm literally baking
We-
cookies.
We've learned how to jump in this game.
That's
Nice.
what's up. And I just got destroyed.
I've been curious to ask what people's favorite soundtracks on vinyl release are, and I figure our guest would be a good time to start that.
Yeah.
Do you have any you're particularly attached to?
For me personally, Zelda 2, best game ever, best Zelda game. Not really. I like the Zelda 2 release a lot, and Zelda 1. I'm a big Zelda sim. But I really think sound-wise, the one that's just like way leagues above and beyond is Mario 3, and by extension Mario 2. Those are both fantastic
Yeah.
sounding
Mhm.
records. NES can sound really good on a turntable, and it doesn't always, obviously. It could just be some beeps and boops, but this sounds really silly, but it's very warm the way they master it on those two releases, and that goes for like Ninja Turtles NES, which I don't have. Trying to think of other ones though that I actually own.
That reminds me of something someone said today in the Facebook group about like why people like video game vinyl.
That was a great question. What a great post.
It was the
But like,
post.
It
I
really
think
it deserves so much attention and
it did get a lot.
As it deserves.
But I do really like. I mean, it's kind of something based off what Jim Bob was saying is like it having sound like to me like NES soundtracks or Game Boy soundtracks or whatever, they don't feel or they aren't something I envision as like the vinyl music. So once I finally got into it, I don't know, I appreciate it because it feels so out of place, but it sounds so right as well to hear it expressed, you know. So I don't know. I think there's like I think there's a specialness to that to a certain extent.
yeah, I think it's something I take for granted at this point, but it was like,
The novelty of it's like
5 years ago. It really, you really felt the novelty.
yeah.
It
You
was
really
so
hear
cool.
some songs for the first time, so in a sense of like parts you wouldn't hear, like parts that are brought out specifically by the master. And Did I just turn into a robot?
No,
No.
Okay, good.
the dodgeball's getting weird.
I think the one that always stands out to me is that Batman release. I think the sounds in that are
I think it's really
so ridiculous and so good sounding. That's like the one that always pops into my mind first, I would say, as like
Yeah.
a favorite.
I feel like it definitely noticeably sounds better than how the Batman track on the Moonshake NES Greatest Hits
Yeah.
sounds.
They put their whole ass into it.
This is true. Frank, were you the one who posted that? It was a Princess Tomato lathe? Was that you?
That is really cool.
Yeah.
That was a weird one to see.
Well, the person who made that offered, like, they're like, hey, you want a custom lathe? Like, I'll do any NES game, and the first thing that popped in my head was Princess Tomato. I was like, what's something no one else is gonna ask for? And I was like, okay, Princess Tomato.
I think that's definitely fits that bill perfectly.
Also, I really like that game, so.
Why not?
It's
There
a very challenging game, just in the way that like it navigates unlike many other NES games, and so
it's all point and click, right?
Yeah,
It's a adventure, point and click game. I guess it's kind of cryptic if you've never played it before, but I feel like a lot of the NES point and click games, as few as there are like that too.
Yeah. I definitely know, like you've mentioned having preference for Maniac Mansion over the PC version, and just like the controlling the cursor with the directional pad. Like I was lucky to have my first experience not be on a computer with a mouse pad, rather than like old Amiga probably. You probably controlled those with a cursor with the directional pads on the computer, but yeah. So I just tried playing the NES version, and it always felt a little off just because of that differentiation there.
Yeah, I first played the game on NES and just absolutely fell in love with it. I didn't play the PC version until I played Day of the Tentacle, because it's like a Easter egg in there.
Yeah.
So I never even realized how much different that version is. Like, but I love what they added to the NES version, where each character has their own like CD player or cassette player that they're carrying around, and they like have their own music. I thought that was such a cool addition. Also, we're talking about NES games that aren't on vinyl now.
God damn it! I'm into this dodgeball so hard, and I was.
Someone should definitely press Maniac Mansion.
I'm surprised it hasn't happened. That's like one of the most.
Was that the one that got posted about in Maine? I'm trying to recall.
Like, hey, I did
That's
it.
one that's notorious.
I
People have said
stretched
they're
the
gonna
art.
do it.
Someone hire me.
Oh yeah.
Hey, one I'd love to see as a big Addams Family nerd growing up was Fester's Quest. I feel like
that soundtrack kicks ass. That's such a good soundtrack.
It doesn't even sound like a NES soundtrack. It's like so ridiculously good.
Everything by Sunsoft is just kicks ass.
Yeah,
Sunsoft is the shit.
I feel like a lot of the unique sound chips for the NES, they were part of engineering, or at least they had several of their own, I think.
I was gonna add on that most of the stuff I know from the NES era is from like watching AVGN growing up. Really, I didn't have much exposure to it, but there's a ton of games I love on it. Like I've played Duck Hunt within the last month. Me and my wife play that pretty often, actually, because it's a classic, easy peasy to play. Just pick
with the zapper. Are you playing it on like a CRT?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Definitely play Barker Bill's Trick Shooting if you've never played it.
Ooh.
I feel like that's just like a beefed up version of Duck Hunt. I love that.
Barber Bill.
Barker Bill. Barker Bill's trick shooting.
Holy shit!
All right. Awesome.
I sent Jack to the Shadow Realm.
That
I'm
sounds like
definitely gonna check that
sounds like
out.
a fake title, and I really appreciate
It
that.
does.
It's actually a first party Nintendo game that like no one's ever heard of,
And
but it's
what's its name?
The guy looks like Mario.
Barker Bill's trick shooting.
That's
Good
all
old Barker.
Barker Bill.
It's basically like Duck Hunt, but has like more modes and variations.
And
Yeah,
I'm glad.
Characters in that game are caked up.
I'm glad I get to bring it up because another one of my favorite NES games that I have on vinyl, one of the few, is Kirby's Adventure. The release that has the papercraft cover
Oh,
is
yeah.
so gorgeous. That fucking
Yeah.
jacket and
So
the
cute.
pink and clear pinwheel. It's just so it's just a fantastic release. One of my favorites, and it has that I think a Kirby medley at the end, if I recall correctly.
It has
Uh,
a couple Smash tracks.
Okay, that's right. But yeah, fantastic. I love that release. And then I really don't think I have much other NES stuff. I'm waiting on Mega Man 2 and 3 from Laced. Eventually,
Soon.
love Laced. Honestly, they make great stuff. It just takes
They
goddamn
do.
ever.
It's just the wait every damn time.
You laced
Mm.
pressed those?
Yeah, they finally released a separate pressing of Mega Man X individually and a Mega Man 2 and 3
Yeah.
2
Not
LP.
box.
That is a
Not in a
hard
box.
time keeping track of Mega Man stuff.
I mean,
I'm just
there's too many.
serious.
Those
They're,
way too-
they're reissuing the boxes too. So and I'm sure the Mega Man NES box is great. I've only really played 2 and 3 the most. So
Mega Man Battle Network. Where the fuck is that soundtrack?
that's surprising. I love that game. It's not the same console, but fuck, that's a cool game.
That's a GBA, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, not the handheld episode.
And I'm kind of
You will be
surprised we haven't
canceled for
seen.
this.
We have Final Fantasy 2, and then I skipped to 4 on like vinyl releases. I'm surprised we haven't seen an NES version of 3 specifically. I played the DS version as a kid, but it's just it was a crazy NES game, all things considered, like having so
So
many
do
jobs.
all the bootlegs follow the regular number, the Japanese numbers, or the American number?
They would follow the Japanese.
Japanese, yeah.
It'd be really funny to release a Final Fantasy 2 record that's 4 or something.
Oh,
That'd be
yeah.
so funny. Or like an alternate cover.
There's someone out there who doesn't know that, and they think 4 and 2 are the same release.
I mean, I get them mixed up just because they have the Yamano like person on the front. If you at a glance, it's easy. But yeah, the NES is a cool thing. I mostly played like the Mario trilogy, of course, on the All Stars version growing up too. Really good. I honestly really like the. Didn't Soy Oka do those versions of the songs?
Yeah,
The Super Nintendo versions, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
That's really cool. The SNES versions of all the songs in Mario All Stars were done
yeah, just
by.
rearrangements.
Yeah.
I
And then
like- I've always oddly liked the NES versions more for some reason than the All-Star versions.
It's
They're
just that
definitely crunchier,
authentic
like-
feel.
Maybe not as far as the music, but as far as the games themselves.
Yeah,
I kind of agree with that.
the SNES versions feel a little slippery.
Well, just a little
But that-
weird. Not
Yeah, a little
exactly
off.
what they wanted, but kind of just done across the board.
Yeah. I mean, the Lost Levels is probably better to play on that version just because it's a little more forgiving.
Yeah. And then the last thing I have to say is that I have a Top Gun NES cart, so it's classified.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
Are you allowed to say that?
Were you a little? So you said you played the Mario 3 on the All Stars a little bit more than the original.
Yeah.
So when you got the original soundtrack, were you kind of surprised because it was a while that I had listened to. It's been a while since I listened to the original SNES or the original the original NES Super Mario Brothers 3.
Yeah.
And it took me by surprise that it just like jumps right into Grassland.
Yeah, there's
Rather
no,
than-
There's no title
screen.
music. That's
no,
right.
No, but
I think
there
they
is.
added it for the All Stars version.
Yeah,
Yes, that did confuse me, and I did do a double take because I've played the NES version, but I just didn't remember that there's no title music in there.
yeah,
It's very odd.
yeah. It's. I mean, I guess the original Mario 2 didn't have, the Lost Levels didn't have title
Yeah.
music. Original Mario 1 didn't have title music, so yeah, just a little bizarre. But I
Also, I'd
do
really
always have that Mario 3 title music from All Stars in my head a lot, and I'd love to hear that on vinyl someday.
for sure. One really like obscure kind of Mario related thing for NES. I'd love to see an addition to like Mario Bros 3, even if it's just a small thing that would have the Mario Maker songs that they added, like the Snowy
I was
Chord
just
song.
I was just thinking about that actually.
Yeah, those are really cool. And Mario 1, I think, has some variations on there as well. It's all really
Like
neat.
the Ghost House and all that stuff.
Yeah. I really love the Mario 3 Christmassy or like snowy music. It's very, very comfy. Good stuff.
They sound
It is.
so convincing. Like they sound exactly like what they would be if they existed.
It's kind of crazy. I don't know who they got to compose those, if it was Koji Kondo or what the fuck, but what the heck? Sorry.
This is a
Don't worry,
This is a child-free zone.
it'll get bleeped in post.
Yeah, don't.
Thank you. Okay.
You don't want to
It's
be
all the label
embarrassing.
names that we're dropping.
Yeah.
So
If you just clap on the mic really loud, you'll be able to see the audio spike.
Yeah.
The producers will just get right to it.
We'll take care of it. I'll take care of it.
there you go.
You better.
I'm sorry. I'm so fucking sorry. Oh, why'd I throw that there?
Yeah, for me, the NES is a console where like a lot of the games are very important to their like genres and or franchises, but they haven't aged the best. Like I don't really want to play Metroid over Zero Mission, you know?
Right.
I just played the original Metroid like a month ago. I just wanted to play through it from start to finish. I feel like it still holds up as long as you have a map. Get the Nintendo Power map and you're good.
That's right. But you need an authentic Nintendo Power map, otherwise it's not legit.
Now you're playing with power.
Right.
What?
Did I just throw that at you while you were down?
Yeah.
I didn't know you could do that.
That should be illegal.
Yeah. But thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you, Jim
Oh
Bob.
yeah, thanks for having me, guys. I am Betty right now, but yes, I'm Jim
Right.
Bob.
I knew
Betty.
that. I know that voice anywhere.
Evil
You will call
Betty.
me Master Pain. Alright, goodbye.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Don't forget, code 4all for 4% off at Channel 3 Records for the next 15 minutes. Get your
On that
fog.
note, we could bring in the man himself, talking about how
Oh, yeah.
we're still waiting on Double Dragon 1 and 2.
Oh yeah, that's an NES
Right.
game soundtrack.
Yeah. Play.
I'm sure it'll
It'll
be
be-
here soon.
One day, guys, it'll be here.
We'll see.
I'm gonna fucking email you.
Pico, you're a robot, I think.
Pico Robot.
Shooting jokes over here.
My man got jokes.
You know, I
I
just
still
want
sound
to.
like a robot.
No, you're good. I want to say I'm super invested in this dodgeball match right now.
I'm
It's
so
very close.
scared.
It's one of my favorite series.
Oh,
like,
shit.
Super Dodgeball Advance is like
Oh,
one of my
yeah.
very
So good.
favorites. Probably like more hours on that than most video games I played, or at least handheld. So I'd watch it intently. It's like the most thrilling thing to me in the world, non-ironically.
How many of the Kunio-kun games did we get in the US on the NES?
I played Nintendo World Cup a lot. That was my main one. I played those Kunio-kun.
Yeah, there's Nintendo World
That's
Cup.
right.
There's Super Dodgeball, River City Ransom, Crash and the Boys.
Crash and the Boys.
I'm not
What
familiar with that game, but I love the title so much.
Well, they used it in Scott Pilgrim.
I'll be honest, I
They
didn't know
also
it
used
was
Clash of Demon Head,
I
right?
didn't know Crash and the Boys
Yeah, Clash of Demon Head.
was a reference to
I
an
found
NES
that
Yeah.
card actually a couple weeks ago.
I feel like there's one I'm forgetting.
I'm looking, but I don't recognize any
Maybe-
others.
Yeah.
Do double match.
Renegade? Did you say Renegade?
Renegade, yeah, okay.
Both
I-
USA.
Both USA? Okay.
Yeah.
But how do you feel about the NES, Caleb?
My exposure to the NES is relatively limited. My grandparents had one. I didn't have one. I had a Super Nintendo at home, so anytime I went to my grandparents, we'd play the NES. So it was mostly things like Duck Hunt, Mario,
The old standbys.
the old standards. But then one that we had and played quite a bit was Marble Madness, which
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
I extremely love. Even to this day, like I still just love ripping through it.
That game fucks.
You
The
can rip through
soundtrack's
it.
So good.
It is so good. And then
Because it is a hard game to play unless you just
it's
like know it
repetition.
in and out.
Yeah, that's the only way to get good at the game is repetition. And then RC Pro-Am. RC Pro-Am is one of my favorite games too for the NES.
It's a good one.
Was the NES? It was your grandparents? Were they gamers? Was it for?
It was mostly for the grandkids, except my grandpa was a beast at Dr. Mario. Like that was the only game
Nice.
for the NES that he played, but none of us grandkids could beat him at Dr. Mario.
That feels like an appropriate grandfatherly game.
Right, yeah.
It does.
Whenever I played Nintendo in front of my grandma, she would say it's Japan's revenge for World War II.
Oh my god.
So true, Grandma. We do not endorse the opinion of Frank's grandma.
She's dead, don't worry.
Wow, it's sponsorship removed. I can't.
Oh, shit.
You use code 4 off for an additional 4% on your purchase.
Our next code is going to be code Frank's grandma, and all the Japanese titles on our store are going to be half off.
Hell yeah.
Oh my god.
It's been fun hosting the podcast. This is the last episode. So
Thought we could make it a whole year, but
we were just vibing at the beginning about going a year.
oh,
Sorry, I apologize.
No, it's not your fault.
It's your grandma's fault. It's not your
Right.
fault.
Yeah.
oh, sheesh.
So on the topic of NES stuff, what NES soundtracks have been yet to be released on vinyl that you all would want to see
Marble
desperately?
Madness.
I
Like
would
you
do
said,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, I would love that.
Chester's Quest was mine. That'd be like my pinnacle of very limited knowledge of NES soundtracks.
Which
I
one?
do love
Fester's Quest.
Oh, Fester's Quest, yeah.
I do love a lot of the Capcom games that the license like Chip and Dale was such a great soundtrack.
Yeah, Darkwing Duck is a good
They went
soundtrack.
hard on those games.
And then old David Wise proto Donkey Kong Country like Cobra
Yeah.
Triangle.
Or
It's
Sesame
so-
Street 1, 2, 3.
I don't
Or
know
s-
that one.
Or Sesame Street ABC. Those are David Wise soundtracks.
I know he did Double Dare
He had
as
to
well.
get his start somewhere.
I want to see
Uh,
Friday the 13th on vinyl.
I mean, with
I
all the
would-
horror soundtracks, you'd think like maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That soundtrack's like 1 minute.
It's
Isn't it?
coming.
Like,
We're making a 7-inch. just to
No
scratch that
7
itch.
It's going to be a 12-inch, and it's just going to be on repeat.
Lots of
Sounds
one,
good.
One locked groove.
I really want to see Star Tropics or
Oh,
Faxanadu.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tropics would be
Those are great
Star Tropics
games.
would be fucking
What was the
awesome.
second one you said?
Faxanadu.
Ah,
Faxanadu,
That's
yeah.
classic too,
Wasn't that-
Jesus.
I don't know if this is like. Weren't you trying to do that one at one point?
Yeah, it's just it's not gonna happen in any
Right.
in any official capacity.
I thought, isn't Faxanadu, like, owned by Nintendo?
Konami.
Oh, okay. I always thought it was like a first-party game, or maybe it was like published by Nintendo. Because I remember they'd always include it in their, like, when they were advertising their
well,
games.
yeah. I think
Yeah, Nintendo published it. Yeah.
I thought I remembered it being on a virtual console at some point, maybe for the Wii. I think.
That sounds right.
It's on the Switch, right? It's on
Is
the
it?
Switch online shit.
Honestly, my first experience with Faxanadu was a friend had a like an illegal ROM cart of NES games, just like something you buy on eBay in the late 2000s.
Yeah.
Or
Just
so
filled with bootleg games.
yeah, it had like it was like 50 in one sort of thing,
Oh no.
and I wasn't familiar with Faxanadu, so checked it out, and I played way too much of it. But yeah,
Speaking
that
of
soundtrack is killer.
Speaking of bootleg cartridges with multiple games on them, there's also Cheetah Men 2 on vinyl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta say,
I was
I'm
just
not
saying, I got the
familiar
record
with
store day of that.
Cheetah Man at
Same.
all.
It's like, Cheetah Man! You never played Cheetah Man?
Never played.
I have not.
I never played it, but I have the
I-
release and I like it a lot.
Definitely never play it,
It's better this
Um,
way.
but the soundtrack or like the main theme is just too good for words.
Fuck.
That was a close one. I gotta say, for like, there are some good like people making like current day NES games. There's some good soundtracks in some of those, like the modern classical NES games. Like I love Battle Kid 1 and 2. Those are some pretty good soundtracks, and I'm sure stuff like that probably wouldn't take bootlegging to make happen on vinyl, just because of how they actually released. Like, they didn't have to have like any sort of Nintendo cooperation to release them on the console.
There was one from SGDQ last year that somebody was speedrunning, and I'm gonna look it up right now and see. Hopefully I can find the name of it. But there's some company out there that is just like making NES games to this day, like, and just putting them out. And I looked into it a little bit because there are a couple that they've done that have some really good soundtracks. So stand by on that. But yeah, that'd be really cool. There's still a lot of stuff that people are making that are being popular in speedrun and
Yeah, and they're not just like ROM hacks of existing.
right. Yeah, no, it's
existing
new,
games.
new assets, new music, new everything.
Yeah. Although that is another part of the. I guess it definitely counts as VGM. I love it when people like make NES or SNES ROM hacks and they like incorporate like modern music, and they just like they translate it to either the SNES or the NES format. Like there was one that was on SGDQ that was like Super Orb Brothers or something like that, and they had a bunch of licensed songs that they just converted to 8-bit, and I think they did a pretty good job on that. And I'm getting my ass
I
kicked
know.
right
I don't
now.
know what's up with this team.
Retro City Rampage is kind of NES.
Oh.
I don't think you can quite get it. Like, I think it cheats a bit. It can't really be on NES, but
like Shovel Knight.
Yeah.
Like there is no way. Like if
it's like co-opting the style, like the visual style of it, but it's too intensive.
I think it was originally being developed on NES. There's also like the stuff like 8-bit. What is it? Like
8-bit music power.
8-bit music power. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
That would be really cool to have on vinyl.
Mm-hmm.
It's on like every other format now.
Are you all familiar with 8-bit music power?
Not at all.
Nope.
There's also mention of. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
It's not actually a game. It's just. I think it was just a. I think it started off as a ROM and then they put it on a cart. And it's just a little like music generator. I think you could play a simple rhythm game to it, but the showcase is the music itself, and it's just really phenomenal 8-bit music.
It's a chiptune album by like Japanese chiptune artists, and yeah, it's just like a really fancy music player basically. But they released it on normal formats too, like cassette and CD. But they also released it as a NES cart and a Famicom cart.
Mm-hmm.
I think Limited Run Games did the NES version, but the Famicom version I think was the original.
Yeah. And
the next Channel 3 release is a NES OST.
Oh, a little teaser.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It'll be in hand in August too, so not too much longer.
Are you waiting for it to be in hand to make the announcement?
I think so, or at least like a couple weeks before.
That's pretty good, yeah.
Is it a game we know?
It's a game that has been said on this podcast.
Holy shit!
Scrub through it all.
Run the tape back.
Friday the 13th, baby, here we come.
The first 5-minute soundtrack.
We're getting it.
Well, that isn't put out by Squaresoft. So.
You never know. We're making dreams happen with the podcast money.
Someone mentioned Hong Kong 97 in the chat. That was Super Famicom, right?
Yes. Yeah, and it specifically like the I think it can only be played on a disc add-on or something.
Oh,
okay.
I guess I
like
didn't
a
even know
disc
Super
add-on?
Yeah, like a floppy disk add-on.
Oh. Interesting.
It was by bootleggers, like
That's what I thought.
to be able to play like ROMs off of floppy disks.
How could you do this to us, Jim Bob? After all that time you spent on the podcast. After what Frank's grandma did for us.
Oh god.
The progress that was shattered.
The Friday the 13th complete soundtrack is 2 minutes long.
Nice.
Let's go!
3-inch.
Channel 3's doing it.
Channel 3, 3-inch record.
No comment.
Oh! That basically is a confirmation. Podcast exclusive.
Tomorrow.
Actually, it's a little bit more like 2 minutes. It's a little bit more like 3 minutes. Sorry.
The loop's gonna be
Is there
real
a Freddy
long.
Krueger game on NES? What other
Well,
shitty horror franchises are on NES?
Nightmare on Elm Street, which is David Wise.
Is it? I did not know that.
What about like
So-
a Texas Chainsaw Massacre game?
That's only Atari. There wasn't an NES one.
Bastards.
Hey, I remembered the company making new NES games. That's Morph Cat Games. They have 3 games: Super Bat Puncher, Micro Mages, and Bobble. B-O-B-L.
Bobble.
Seen some Bobble speed runs, I think. Was that one of the ones? There are these like all ran at like GDQ.
Bobble
Micro
without the
Mages was
bubble.
ran.
Yeah.
I think Micro Mages was the one that was on the last GDQ.
Yeah, that was the one I was thinking of.
Hmm.
What happened to Super Russian Roulette? Did that ever come out?
Oh God.
Do you remember that?
I don't remember.
Wow, yeah, that's in my brain.
Yeah.
I could have sworn I could have sworn that was a thing.
It was like a zapper game. It used the NES zapper, and it was like basically just Russian roulette, and you played it with people.
That does not seem like that would ever make it past any PR.
It was like a Kickstarter thing, I think. I don't know if it ever actually came out. It looks like it did, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. That's $85,000 pledged to it. Last updated in September 2017, so if it's not out, good luck.
So how do you, Pico, how do you solve the whole, there's a lot of good NES soundtracks that are very short. How do you solve the problem of putting them out on vinyl if you are not a fan of anything other than 12-inch?
You pitch it like one of those dumbass, 500 games in one cartridge.
I would love that. Oh my god.
It's actually
You're saying do the complete soundtrack, do the compilation albums, but have actual complete soundtracks for them, and so just do short run albums and try to put 5 or 6 on a 12-inch disc.
Yeah.
I think that could be done.
I would never do a 7-inch or a 10-inch. It's just stupid. So just mush them all together. Every horror game there is, every scary game, just mush them on there. 10-in-1 NES horror. Slap an 8-bit ghost on that shit, or a bloody 8-bit hand or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the mystical hand.
Yeah. 30 seconds, sold out.
Homages on homages. See it.
Rich ass boot label money right there.
Freebie
just like all the other
aspiring booters.
Making hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
When you see the 50-in-1 NES record,
you're laughing to the bank.
Yeah, if you see that record, remember the podcast gets a cut.
It better be poor quality. I wouldn't want it to sound good, actually.
No, it has to be bootleg.
Right,
truly,
bootleg.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Fake glitches and stuff, actually in the masters, making it sound like it's glitched and skipping.
Cheetah Man did that, right? It doesn't have a fucked up boot sequence or something at the beginning.
I don't remember. I don't think so.
I thought it had something weird like that. Maybe it's just the little art print that accompanies it.
I know there's I know there's an art print that has the glitched graphics.
Yeah.
I'm also gonna put screams in the masters too from the movie for no reason.
California Games.
Yeah.
California Games is another David Wise soundtrack, I'm pretty sure.
And I think that was my first exposure to David Wise.
Real quick, I like to try to do this since we're past our hour mark. I'm gonna bring in the people from our waiting room that have been patient with us, and we're gonna do the speed run for them.
I think
all
the mentions of David Wise are also a nice reminder that we're doing our David Wise episode next week.
That's right.
I think it is specifically a DKC episode.
Yeah. Right. Donkey Kong, David Wise. Maybe we'll have someone, I don't know.
David Wise?
I don't know.
David Wise himself.
We don't know yet.
If David Wise was an Italian gangster, he'd be David Wise guy.
He heard about Frank's grandmother's comments.
We are getting Frank's grandma for next week.
All right, speed run.
You're gonna have to dig her up.
No.
Plot twist. Lip Lop is Frank's grandma.
There's a horror theme in there somewhere.
That's right. Cody, we got you on speedrun mode. What are some NES games or soundtracks you like? Yeah, we will be doing a seance, Jim Bob. Thank you. Alright. Cody.
Hello.
Nes.
NES?
NES.
It's pretty cool. I think I'm glad you guys pointed out the Hong Kong '97 wasn't NES. That's what my first thought was that I like all like the homebrew stuff from that era. So anything that's like, you know, it has another layer of boot to the boot, typically.
Boots on boots.
So I don't know. They're funny. They're old school. They're cool.
What's the soundtrack you like from the NES era?
Oh man, I guess like Super Mario 3 is the first thing that comes to my head.
That's gotta be number one.
Number one, all time.
Always.
And I think the Bill and Ted soundtrack was pretty cool.
Okay.
Well, now you can get the games physically in a compilation.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Limited Run put that out.
Oh yeah, what?
Get
Oh
it
my
in 3
God.
years. And what's one of your favorite NES games?
You said Star Tropics. That one I've like been thinking about only just because I learned of it kind of late, like maybe like 2 years ago, and was like, oh, I've always seen the cover, but never played it. It was surprising. I liked it a lot.
Nice.
Left an impact. Star Tropics is definitely one of those games where it feels like there's much more to it than the usual NES game.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking bigger than its limits, I guess, or beyond the limit.
All right, we're gonna bring in one last guest before we end tonight. That's the infamous Joey.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
You're on thin fucking ice.
I'm on thin. I haven't even said anything
I
today.
know, but I know your ways.
What are you talking about?
What do you think I'm talking about?
I don't know. You're the one who brought me in. You're talking about the Nintendo game.
What do you like about Nintendo?
I like how you get to blow in the bottom. I like how I never owned one growing up.
Okay.
I like Mario 3. They should make Mega Man 2 into a record. That'd be cool. That's my favorite game.
Oh man, you're making me nervous.
They should make some more spooky horror NES games. They should put Big Ass Haunted Mansion on there.
My man.
That would be my favorite game.
That would be your favorite game?
Yeah, if that game was adapted into an NES.
Right.
Sweet Home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd play it.
I think we'd all play it, honestly.
It would be required learning.
Yeah, just make a Sweet Home hack.
Yeah, just replace the skeletons with Shaggy.
Thank you for watching the #1 video game vinyl podcast on
Yeah.
Twitch.tv.
Thanks for listening to the #1 Haunted Mansion podcast, everyone. Another week.
Are that at this point? So.
Another one for the books. Tag it, bag it. Don't forget to call it.
We might do another NES episode because there is so much to it, but that is that for this week. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, follow, donate, giveaway, follow, comment. Again.
Big ass Haunted Mansion.
Rate it 5 stars.
Rate it 5 stars.
Thank you.
Yelp us. Find us on MapQuest. Good night.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
I love you.
How do I end this?
Big ass Haunted Mansion?
No, it's not working.
Oh, okay. Oh.
How do I end a podcast?
Oh no.
Control Alt Delete.
Oh, okay.
Alt F4.
It's not working.
System 32.
Okay.
We're still live.
We're
Just
still
everyone
live.
stop talking.
Everyone stop.
Alright.
It's frozen.
It's frozen.
And we're stuck here.
Frozone?
Are we
Where is my haunted mansion?
I need someone to stall real quick for like 3 seconds.
1, 2.
So let's talk about the Super Famicom then.
No,
Can you
that's a
change the
preview.
color of any fruit? Which color fruit and what color?
Apple is blue. Apple is blue.
Change
Ooh,
an
a blue.
Ooh, I like
Ooh,
that.
orange to a sunset red.
Ooh, I like that too.
Red?
What about like a banana then?
Just turn a banana
Purple.
orange. Orange you glad.
I would
Purple
make
banana.
Yeah,
yellow.
purple banana.
Oh, there's the end stream button.